Hello. How's it going out there tonight?
I
Well,
know you stumped me now.
check out our website, mannimalresearch.com. Thanks to everybody. Hello. How's it going out there tonight? Hope everyone is doing well, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. If you will hang out live with us tonight or catch it later, we sure do appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot, guys. Thank you very much. Let's see who all we got here. Miss Sandra Piper. How'd I know? How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. Ninja Dave. How's it going, buddy? Hadn't seen you in a few. Got a Facebook user. Can't tell who that is on here just yet, but appreciate hanging out. People will be jumping in here periodically here soon, probably. All right. Got a interesting show lined up for you tonight. Guys, if you haven't done so already, want to ask you to hit that subscribe button. Sure would appreciate it. Continuing to grow. We are heading in the right direction. That is a good thing. If you guys, anyone has had an encounter and you'd like to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you. Just shoot us an email at mannimalresearch@yahoo.com. Mannimalresearch@yahoo. Also, we have a Facebook group, Mannimal Research on Facebook. If you haven't joined already, head on over there. I'd be happy to have you. And as always, tonight we got a cool guest lined up, and if you have any questions for him, be sure to put those in all caps, and we'll be happy to get those over to him. All right, tonight we have Mr. Stephen Slusher joining us. Mr. Slusher lives in New Mexico. He's had some interesting stuff go on in his life. Had a few Bigfoot sightings, a really intense one not too long ago, I don't believe. So yeah, he'll be on to talk about those and also some missing time stories. I know of at least one. They might have had two, but I'm fascinated with those. The missing time stories. I think that there's definitely something to that needs to be looked in a little bit further. Also, he had a really creepy sighting, something in a field. And I'm going to let him explain it, but when he and I talked on the phone, I guess it was about a month or so ago, probably a little better, he told me about these all these instances, and that last one he told me about with the what he saw in this field, man, that really it spooked me. It did. So I can't wait for you guys to hear that. So we'll bring Stephen on here in just a minute. Scottish Wild Man, how's it going, buddy? Glad you could make it over, hang out with me. All right, guys, we've got going to be some changes coming up to the show. I'm not going to get into all of them tonight, but there going to be some changes. If you've noticed up there in the corner, you see that icon that says unscripted. Well, Mannimal Research is the name of the organization that I founded about 3 years ago, and founded the organization with one purpose in mind, and that was to do our part and putting together this Bigfoot puzzle and wanting to be involved and play some part in proving that he's real. We just want to do our part and do it in an ethical way, a way that is respectful to others and a professional way. And I feel like we've done that so far. Well, we obviously haven't proved that he's real, but we've done those other things, I feel like, and they're going to continue to do them. But I say all of that to say, we didn't start Manimal to get on YouTube or to do podcasts or anything like that. We started Manimal, like I said, to prove Bigfoot was real, to do what we could in that field. The YouTube channel, that was just a way to add to our research, because I've said it a million times, I'll say it a million more. One of the most important parts of research in this field is listening to eyewitness encounters. If we listen to people that have actually seen them, then we can start, we have a better idea of their behavior and start to understand them a little bit better. So that's why we started the channel. And that's why we're still doing it almost 3 years in, coming up on 2,000 subscribers now, and we're growing and doing everything right, I feel. But we never named the show. We just called, it's just Mannimal Research. I never thought about giving the show a name or a title. About 6 months ago, I branched off and I started a podcast. About 16 episodes in on that podcast, and I named it Unscripted. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this show Unscripted. So this is the Unscripted show on YouTube, the Unscripted podcast. And it's Unscripted, presented by Mannimal Research, because, that's the name of our organization. And this show is going to be called Unscripted. So that's the first part of what the changes that are coming up. So I just wanted to get that out. I hope that's not too confusing for everyone that knows us as Mannimal. We have some awesome followers, and you guys have been great. You've been with us this whole time. Like I said, we took about 6 months off, and not only did we not lose any subscribers in that 6 months, we gained them. And since we've been back doing shows about a month now, we've gained about 150 new subscribers in just this last month. And I know a huge part of that is because I was on Sasquatch Odyssey with Brian over there, and the exposure through his channel has given us a lot of new subscribers, and I'm really grateful for that. I'll be going back on with him here soon. He just aired our Janice Carter interviews. He did both of those in back-to-back weeks, and I'm interested to go back on and see what kind of response he's had from that. I know he's got some opinions about her, and we all do. But I'll be going back on here soon with him to talk about that. Ninja Dave, I'm sure we'll be discussing you as well. But yeah, guys, like I said, going forward, the name of this show is going to be Unscripted. And I'll just go ahead and say it, while I'm kind of on the topic. I've talked to a lot of people that do podcasts and do shows and put out content and stuff, and most of them feel like the one host platform is the way to go. So that's the next change that's coming up. I'm going to be doing Unscripted on here by myself. Mr. Walls there, Walls is still the vice president of Mannimal Research. He's still one of my best friends in the world. Think very highly of the man. He's doing his own show over there, Bigfoot and Things. I'll do whatever I can to promote that show as well. Send you guys over there to show him some love. And it's not a punishment or anything like that. We're not breaking up. We're not splitting up. The research group, the research will go on. We're getting ready to launch a new project, actually, that Walls and I have been working on. He's going to be heading up that project, and we're excited about it. We are. We're going to be talking to our other members about it coming up soon. We're going to have a meeting. But Walls is going to be over that project, so he's not going anywhere. He's just, this show, I'm going to be the one doing this show. So hope that doesn't upset too many people. Hope you guys can understand that it's just a positive change. We're trying to grow, keep going the way we're going, and appreciate any feedback you guys want to give. You can get us at that email, Mannimal Research at Yahoo, or you can message me directly on Facebook Messenger. Get us on the group, the Facebook group there. If you guys have any feedback, suggestions, I'd love to hear them. But yeah, one more thing before we bring on Stephen. I know I'm getting a little long-winded here. It's been 10 minutes, and I'll try to hurry it up. Got our Squatch out coming up. Every time I click on that link to look at the campground, there's more camp spots that have been booked. And I got to think that that's because of the event. It's just a random weekend in October, and the weekends around that date don't have near as many. So it's over 20 something campsites have been reserved. So I think we're going to have a good turnout this year. There's only like 35 or 36 sites in that campground, and we've already got well over half of them booked. So we're gonna have a good turnout, I believe. I'm gonna have these cups. Actually, I just wanted to show this one because I think it's cool. It's gonna be the only white one I have. I don't know. Maybe I can have some more white ones, but that's pretty cool. With the glare, I don't know if you can read it. It says 2022 East Tennessee Squatch Out. So we're going to have that for sale there. Also, I've already sold a few of these, and I showed them last week on the show. We got those in. I got them mailed out, the ones that have bought them already, but we still got them for sale. Got several of those in. They're the 20-ounce tumblers. They're $20. If you look on the back, all of them have this QR code. You scan that code, it'll take you straight to the unscripted website. So, yeah, if you guys want a cup, the money's going to go to funding our research, things like that, helping us put on more expeditions, buying better equipment, things like that. So, we'd appreciate it if you guys would pick one up. That would be awesome. Duty Bird, you must have tuned in late, buddy. I just talked about that. So, yeah, if you want to go back and watch, we'll do that. I got to bring Mr. Stephen Slusher on. So, before we go any further, I want to talk about Mr. Slusher. He is in New Mexico, had some Bigfoot encounters and some other creepiness go on in his time. So, without any further delay, let's bring him on. Stephen, how's it going, buddy?
Real good.
Good deal. Glad that you could make it, hang out with us. You're in New Mexico, correct?
Correct, in the Four Corners area by Farmington.
Okay, yeah. Very good. Very good.
Out on a farm. We live out on a farm, alfalfa fields.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Now, what got you into the sub? You're interested in Bigfoot. I've seen you in a couple of the Bigfoot groups on Facebook. What got you interested in the subject, and how long ago was that?
Well, ever since I was a kid, I used to read books on Bigfoot in the library and stuff, and we had in Arizona. We had an animal, a man-ape called Mogollon Monster. He's really a Bigfoot, but we just called him Mogollon Monster. We didn't know yet about Bigfoot, the 60s and whatever. So, anyway, and I wasn't, when I first started getting experiences, I wasn't really that into it. I was into it intellectually in the books. Then when I got experiences, and that really changed everything. Like my first experience with Bigfoot was in Cholo, Arizona. I was living in a trailer there, my parents' trailer, and at night I would hear growling noises and shaking the trailer and stuff. And anyway, I would hear wood knockings right close. They were so, just like he knocked on the pines and scattered the limbs. He was hitting it so hard. So I would go out in the morning to find a bunch of shattered limbs where it was knocking on them. That happened a few times. And I would also hear growling noises sometimes up near the trailer. And that's about it in Cholo. But in here, one night in 2017 in November. I was sleeping. I woke up at 12 and I heard what I thought was my neighbors arguing. It's a real lot of the argument or whatever, because they argued before in the backyard. Because we have our house here and a guest house, but we're separated from all other people on the farm. Anyway, but I couldn't make out the language. It wasn't Spanish. They're Spanish, but it wasn't Spanish. And it wasn't Navajo, because I know Navajo, how it sounds too. And it
So
was,
you could actually hear talking. You thought it was an argument.
yes.
So
Very-
the conversation sounded heated?
Oh yes, sounded heated. There's at least two voices, and but I couldn't make out the language, and it was talking real fast. And only thing I can compare it to is some stuff in the Sierra Sounds. I
Yeah,
heard.
that's what I was about to ask you. Do you think you were possibly hearing some of that samurai chatter that they talk
Yeah.
about?
I didn't hear Sierra Sounds till later on, and I recognized it from what I heard then. And this went on for about 15 minutes. I finally just looked out the window and I saw three great big forms. One was really huge, probably 8 feet or 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide, and another one's a little bit smaller. And there's one standing in front of them. He was about 5 or 6 feet tall, and they're kind of animated, whatever. But it was real dark, and I couldn't see them, and it was really awkward looking at them too through the blinds because they were kind of at an angle. So I only got a few seconds of glimpses of them, and I thought they could see me, and I was kind of afraid. I don't know.
How long ago was this, Stephen?
2017.
2017. How far away would you say the figures were from the window you were standing at?
Not very far, about 25, 30 feet.
Oh, wow. Was there anything between the trailer and the figures that you were looking at? Or were there any trees, or could it have been a shadow?
Oh no, it was just them, and the trees were behind them. We have one thicket, and they're behind them. See,
So they were just out in the yard?
Yeah, I don't know why they were there or whatever, but the strange thing was, a couple hours earlier, I went into the trailer. It was dark, but the ambulance came by down the road about half a mile, and I heard 3 or 4 whistles imitating the ambulance. So I thought that was kind of peculiar. So
you think you heard something mimicking the sound of the sirens?
yes, they were mimicking the sirens. It wasn't a people, because people wouldn't
Yeah.
kill them. So I don't know if it was them or whatever. But
Now, let's go back to what you saw out in the yard. How many of them were there?
3.
Can you describe their sizes? Were they about the same size? Some bigger?
One was about 7 foot or 8 feet tall, about 4 feet wide. Other one was about a foot less than that guy, and not as wide. Another one was about 5 feet and not too wide. It was maybe a juvenile, I guess. So, yeah, I couldn't make out the features too well on them.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Could you tell, like,
yeah, they were
color?
Yeah, they're gesturing and stuff like that with their hands and.
Oh, they were moving their hands and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe they were moving? Like we talk with our hands, or like flailing around, or
more like we talk with their hands.
Okay.
I like that, really. So yeah.
Okay, and you couldn't. I guess it was too dark to tell any kind of features, right?
Yeah, I couldn't tell any features. I just got a glimpse of him too. It was an awkward position looking at him. So and the smaller one wasn't really facing me; he's facing them. It looked like it kind of looked like it was his back, whatever. But
Okay.
might not have been, but I thought.
Okay. Now, I guess that was just a few years ago, so you were aware of Bigfoot, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Did it occur to you that that might be what you were looking at?
yes, definitely.
Okay.
And the sounds, everything. I definitely thought Bigfoot, and they are
Yeah.
around. They are around here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting to. You know, I'm familiar with. I'm in Tennessee, so down here in the South, I know we live in a great part of the country. There's all kind of like forests and mountains. I mean, I'm surrounded by mountains. I look outside, I see mountains, forest, everything around here. And I know out the Pacific Northwest is even better than down here. But I haven't heard a lot about the New Mexico, Arizona. I know I've heard sightings from out that way, but I just don't know how prevalent they are out there.
Well, there's a casino near here, and I was watching Finding Bigfoot, and they were in Durango, and a guy got up at the town meeting and said he saw Bigfoot opening up the casino here. You know, saw Bigfoot. So that's only 2 or 3 miles from here, and about 5-6 miles on the road, the main road, a sheriff's deputy supposedly saw one too crossing the road. So I found that on Facebook. A woman that lives around here, the Navajos see them a lot on the reservation. The reservation is just next to me. Huge reservation and stuff. So, yeah, I have a friend, Navajo. His wife saw one at their farm in Fruitland, New Mexico, and like he had a picture of it on his phone, a footprint. There's a very definite footprint too. So yeah,
Okay.
so they're around here.
So that was a friend of yours that had a sighting. Is that recent?
That was recent, a couple of years, 3 years ago.
Okay.
His wife did. Yeah.
Very cool.
Right. So.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about. I don't know if it's that same encounter about the Bigfoot being picked up on the surveillance video and at the casino. Is that the same one you're talking about?
It might be. I don't know. I haven't seen that. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to your sighting back in 2017, couldn't make out a lot of features, so you could just tell they were big. They were three large beings. I guess it's kind of a silly question, but I was just wondering, did you had to have been afraid, right? You felt some fear?
Oh yeah, I was very afraid. Just that.
Did you feel like you were in danger?
Well, I listened to the voices and stuff. It sounded kind of hostile to me, you know. But maybe it wasn't to them, but it was to me. So
Yeah, that's a good point. You listen to the Sierra sounds, that samurai chatter, and they sound like they're fighting. You know, they sound very.
Right. Yeah, it's like they're like I thought. It was my neighbors arguing, very vicious.
Yeah, it sounds like very aggressive language, but like you said, you know, we don't know what they're saying. I mean, they could have been talking about, "Hey, we're out of milk." You know,
Yeah,
I know. Pick us up some milk. You know,
They
could have
need
been
help.
anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah. So those two encounters were those the only two Bigfoot experiences you've had?
Only to Bigfoot, yes, but I have a lot of paranormal experiences.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those because
Okay,
being the unscripted podcast that I was talking about tonight, we're going to be talking about not only Bigfoot. Bigfoot's going to be our bread and butter, obviously, but we're going to get into some paranormal stuff too. So yeah, I'd love to hear some of the spooky stuff.
Yeah, I was driving home late at night from a church group function, and I was about half a mile from home on the road, and I saw it was like 11:30 at night. I saw this great big white light on the road. It was very bright, but it didn't illuminate anything. It's very strange. A very strange thing was I drove right into it without being afraid. I just drove right into it, and I was caught in it. The Cadillac wasn't doing anything. I was just like a babe in a womb. Bright
Yeah,
light.
so I'm sorry to interrupt you, Stephen. I just want to get this clear in my head, man, and for the listeners. You see this light. Could you see anything that the light was coming from? Was there a craft that was projecting the light down, or what was it?
No, there wasn't a craft, but we have local stories here that there's a flying saucer seen by people that live right there 1 year. So I don't know if they're linked or whatever, but yeah, it was. I didn't see any craft or whatever. Just bright light. By being caught in the light, where there wasn't any sounds. I wasn't moving, and it was a few minutes, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I saw on the left of me 2 headlights go past. I could barely make them out. But then again, then I was suddenly out of it, out of the light, and driving home like nothing happened. So,
And how much time had passed?
pardon?
How much time had passed?
At least a minute or 2. Yeah.
Okay. So did the car stop when you were going through this light, or?
Yeah, I just stopped. It wasn't moving. It was not. It had to be on because when I got out of the light, it was on and I was driving, but I couldn't hear the engine or anything. I could see myself in the front seat and just white light all over me, and hearing nothing at all. I'm feeling really blissful too. I wasn't afraid at all. Felt really nice. So, yeah.
So you didn't feel any kind of fear?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, what do you think that could have been? Well, I mean, I know.
That's a good question. Again, I think it was UFO related. It just sounds like it.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Right. You know, they don't really always form a narrative. They'll do paranormal things like UFOs will do unique things too every once in a while. You know, so
Now, have you had other UFO, or I think they're calling them UAPs now, experiences?
I was riding with my parents, going to church, and I was in the back seat of a car, and we were about 3 miles from home. And to the left of me, I saw a flying saucer keeping pace with the car. It was just about 20 feet up, maybe 12 feet wide. And it was orange colored, and it was just pacing the car. And it was there was a derelict refinery there. That's sort of. And after the end of the derelict refinery, the fence, it just suddenly disappeared. So that's
now, you had a missing time experience, didn't you?
I wouldn't call it missing time. I would call it time travel myself.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to see why you would call it that. So, yeah, if you don't mind, let's hear about that one.
I woke up and I saw the clock. I had said it was 1 o'clock, but it was really 1:30 a.m. And anyway, I woke up and I I get up at night and watch TV a lot, but I wasn't ready to watch TV. I was going to watch it at 3 o'clock. For some dumb reason, I said, "Wake me up at 3 o'clock," and I didn't go to sleep. What happened was the room spun around 2 or 3 times, and then it stopped. Then the digital clock read 3:04, and then I went in to the room of the TV and turned it on, and it was 3:04. And that's 4 minutes of my show. So that's what I was thinking of time travel, because it wasn't like I went to sleep and woke up and said, "Where am I?" There was no break in consciousness at all whatsoever. It was just in an instant, I was transported from 1:30 to 3:04. Yeah.
So from 1:30 to 3:04.
Yes.
And you didn't move. You didn't get up and go anywhere.
No.
Now, I can tell you what I thought when you first told me this, and probably going through everyone else's mind that's hearing this. You had to have dozed off.
No.
You don't think there's any way you fell asleep?
No, it wasn't no way I fell asleep. I was wide awake. Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't doze off at all. I wasn't sleepy, but I just didn't want to get up yet. I just wake me up at 3 o'clock. And the room just spun around and it was 3:04.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that one. That's unique.
No, I know. Yeah, it is very unique. So most of my paranormal stuff is pretty unique. It isn't like on TV so much. I have seen a ghost.
Okay.
That was in Montana. I was in the back bedroom. I was staying with a friend. She had the front bedroom. I had the back bedroom. And all of a sudden at night, I felt a weight on the bed. And I woke up and I saw a woman in dark pants and a blouse with short blonde hair crawling on my bed. And then she wasn't scary or nothing. It didn't really frighten me either. And then, but thing is, she looked at me, and when she looked at me, she was frightened. Like I could see her. Then all of a sudden, she disappeared very strangely. Like the first half of her recessed back to the middle, then the last part of her recessed back to the middle. It was very strange. Yeah, so there's lots of things going on there in Montana that was in 2016. Anyway, I was playing the lottery and I went to go get a ticket on Saturday, and I left my wallet on the counter for a second or two, but somebody stole it. And then I went home to my friend's home and canceled the card. But there was a check in it. I wish I had that check. Anyway, next morning I got up and we had like 5 boxes of cereal. I would just choose one box, didn't really matter. So I chose one box. It was the Cocoa Krispies box. I poured a bowl of it. You know how Cocoa Krispies just like eating air, so I thought I'd pour another one. And I looked inside the box and there's my check folded up, just like it was in my wallet.
Whoa, an actual bank check.
Yeah.
That you needed, that was in your wallet that got stolen.
Yes.
You know 100% that you put it in your wallet.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And it just showed up in a box of cereal the next day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I tell people that. They say, well, ghosts are real, but that's not real. But it did happen, so.
Man, I've never heard anything like that. I wonder if any of our
I never
our
will.
audience members have ever witnessed anything or experienced anything like that, I'd be interested to hear.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, was it the same check? I mean, was it from the same person, made out for the same amount?
Oh, it's the same check. It wasn't. It was just a blank check.
It couldn't have been your roommate or your buddy just screwing with you and replacing or putting a duplicate check in there.
No, it was a definite check. I saw the writing on it and everything. I mean,
I
yeah,
don't know what to say about that, man. That's weird.
yeah, it was very weird. But I had other things. Well, I had one thing transport near me before. After that, about 2 years ago, I was lying on my bed, and I woke up one morning, and there's a DVD right by me of a DVD that was in my storage in Colorado. It just suddenly appeared in my bed. I had wanted it. I've been wanting to watch The Searchers. And The Searchers showed up on my bed, the next morning after I said I thought I wanted it.
So you thought you might want to watch this movie, and the next morning the DVD was on your bed.
Yeah, it came from Colorado, my storage unit. Yeah.
So you didn't have a copy of that DVD in the house you were staying in?
No way.
That stuff, man. That's hard to believe, man. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Have you had things like this happen throughout your life? Because I've never heard of stuff like that.
Yeah, since 2003 till late, yeah. And I can tell you the fairy story too.
Yeah. Actually, that's the one I was kind of hoping, or I was excited about you to get to. I was telling everyone before we came on that you had a story that you told me at the end of our conversation that really creeped me out. So
Yeah.
if you want to go ahead and share that one, that'd be great.
About 2012. I was driving home from work. I was an electrician, and we have a driveway to our house that goes past fields about half a mile. And I was looking at my stepfather. He was in the field. He was getting off the ground, but there was about 20 feet from him, there was 5 children dancing in a circle. Like there was 3 girls and 2 boys. The girls wore close-fitting dresses, old-fashioned type of dresses, and the guys had breeches on and long-sleeve shirts, and they were dancing, hopping around. It was like ballet, really pretty, and it was really pretty. I could only see him for about 2 minutes, then I drove past where I could see him. But that really freaked me out. I didn't know where these children came from.
Yeah, now a couple of times now you've referred to this as the fairy story. What makes you say fairy?
Well, I'm not definitely sure they're fairies. It's just there's stories of fairies dancing in a fairy ring, but they weren't little tiny fairies. They were great full-sized children, So I just give them that name with not name.
Yeah, I understand that. That makes sense. Man, I don't know what I would do in a situation like that, driving down the road and looking out in an empty field and seeing something like that. How far away were the kids?
Oh, it's probably about 50, 60 yards.
50 or 60 yards, so not close, but not
too far.
No, you could definitely see them.
Yeah.
You said they appeared to be grade school kids, and were you familiar with the area at all?
Yeah. With kids and stuff.
What time of day was it?
It's about 4 in the afternoon.
4 in the
Yeah.
afternoon. Were there any schools or churches or anything nearby?
No. No.
So
And they
probably
were
wasn't kids at recess or after school activities.
they were dressed peculiarly, not like children dress today. See,
Okay.
they're real thin. They're stately. Yeah, and they dance, like I said, like ballet. Like most kids don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really strange.
Yeah. You said it. I mean, strange is one way of describing it. I think I get this image in my head, and man, that's just creepy. So I'm trying to understand. Did any of them look at you, or were they all just concentrated on each other? Or
They're all concentrated on each other. Yeah, dancing. They're really happy or whatever. The dancing. Yeah, joyful or whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
Yeah.
wow. And what state did this happen in? Was that New Mexico as well?
It was in Mexico.
Okay, back in 2012.
Yeah, on the farm here. Yeah.
Oh, so where you live now?
Yeah, where I live now.
Oh, wow. Have you since then? Have you seen those kids again?
Oh no, I never have.
That just adds to it. I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you would think that you would have seen those kids again. Well, so what do you think it was? I mean, you keep referring to them as fairies.
Yeah,
Sounds more like ghosts to me.
they might be ghosts. They might be. It's just we always have things going on the farm that are kind of like pranks, like the traditional stories of fairies doing pranks. Like one time we're watering a donkey, and I would fill up the donkey's trough, 50-gallon trough, clear up, and then he would drink maybe 3 or 4 inches. But then I came back that afternoon and it was all gone, all the water, and there was no hole, there was no mud, there wasn't a drop of water in the trough. That happened like 3 times, whatever. So I couldn't make sense out of that. I was just a head scratcher, and it's like a fairy story. So yeah, it was pretty weird. But I
So
can tell you,
you've had pranks and stuff go on at the farm that you think are attributed to the paranormal?
yeah, that's what I think. So,
Are there any other examples you can give?
well, one day my stepfather and I were we have a pond, we get irrigation, and there's silt in the pond, and we had to clean it out for this year's irrigation. And we took shovels and we scraped the bottom and we throw it out. The next morning, about I don't know, 100 yards or so from there, on one of the roads by the barn, there was a bunch of scraping by shovels on the ground, about 20 feet wide by 50 feet long. And there's no prints or anything, so we couldn't figure out why anybody would do that. It just seemed like it was parodying us when we're scraping out. And I don't know where the shovels came from. So, yeah, just stuff like that.
That's odd.
Yeah. I can tell you some more stuff from Montana.
Yeah, let me before we do. Yeah, I definitely want to hear it, Stephen. But before we do, we got a question for you from Ninja Dave, my buddy Ninja Dave.
Oh, yes.
He wants to know if the kids you saw on the field, if they were barefoot.
No, they had shoes on, dress shoes, like, black shoes.
Would you say they were like dressed like they were going to church?
No, they weren't that formal, but they were dressed pretty nice. So, but it wasn't that formal. But yeah, it's more like the boys look like the way Mennonites dress, sort of. the Mennonite boys. But the girls dress nicer than Mennonite girls do.
So I'm not real familiar with Mennonite. Is that like the Amish people?
Yeah, right, exactly. Uh-huh. Yeah. So
So they're dressed like Amish kids. That to me that just adds another level of spooky.
yeah, right. Yeah, they definitely had shoes on.
Okay. Yeah, you were gonna talk a little bit more about your time in Montana.
Yeah. The first night there, I kept hearing noises like beeping noises and voices and rappings on the wall. And then in the morning, I got up and told my friend, your back bedroom's haunted. And right when I said that, the blinds behind me shook very violently. Anyway, but then that that evening, I went to go to bed, and I had a CD and a CD player in the bedroom, and I thought of one of the songs on the CD. It was a David Bowie album, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Anyway, I thought of a song, Moon Age Daydream. And then all of a sudden, when I opened up the door, Moon Age Daydream came on. Exactly where I had it in my head. Yeah. So. And the next day, I decided to make it different. I like another song on there. It was Suffrage City. And right when I went to the door, Suffrage City came on. But then I changed the CD to Ryan Adams CD, and that night one of the songs came on in my mind too. But then from then on, it would CD player just come on at a certain time. It wouldn't play that game anymore.
That's odd.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Also in Sholo. In Sholo, I had a Nissan pickup, and it had a cassette player in it. And I had a tape in it, pre-recorded tape of a group called Love in the 60s. And there's one song on it called The Red Telephone. And there's a nursery rhyme at the end. It goes, "You're coming to take them away today. Throw away the key. You will be tomorrow. You are me." And anyway, wherever I had gotten out of the pickup on the cassette, so it wouldn't be there. It would be on that part when I got in the pickup in the morning. They're coming to take them away today. Throw away the key. And that happened like 5 times. And I finally would stick the tape out.
Yeah. I believe I would have too.
Yeah. So, and recently, I was in my bedroom and I heard electronic noises right in my window for about a minute. I couldn't figure out what that was either.
Electronic noises, like
electronic music. There wasn't music, it was just noises.
kind of like static.
No, it wasn't static. It was like science fiction-y type of sounds, I guess I would call them that. Yeah.
Well, you've had some interesting stuff happen, Stephen, in your life. Have you ever felt like, I don't know the right way to ask this, but you hear or you see people on TV, like I guess they're called mediums, like they can see things or speak to people from the other side. Have you ever felt anything like that? Because it sounds like something has been trying to communicate with you.
Yeah, I know something. I does feel like something's trying to communicate with me, but not in that normal way, a medium. No, dead people. I mean, that ghost was like it was a dead person, but anyway, it's everything's kind of unusual. not usually normal things like on TV. See,
Yeah.
I experiment. I I was a philosophy major in college, and when that stuff happens, it fascinates me intellectually. See,
Yeah.
sometimes it's very scary or whatever. Like the scariest things I've ever had was I was in Sholo, and I was sitting on a chair. Then all of a sudden I heard a noise, high pitched noise above me, and I felt like something was descending on me, some sort of chamber or whatever, and I felt the air pressure change. Then all of a sudden I felt a pulse hit me, hit the chair, the trailer or whatever, and I was vibrating real hard. Then all of a sudden there was a scream, high pitched scream.
A scream?
The scream lasted about 5, 6, 7 seconds,
Oh wow.
and then like 4 days later, I went to my bed. As soon as I lied down, there's the same thing, high pitched noise, and something like it felt like there was something descending on me, and a change of air pressure. And I felt the pulse. It hit my legs, my hand and feet first, and it shook very violently, and it went into my whole body. I was shaking like a tuning fork, and then I heard a scream. After that, I was able to stand up when the scream was happening, but I was so afraid I was bouncing off the wall like a scared rabbit. But the funny thing is, after it happened, I just went back to bed. I didn't like go out of here. I better get out of here or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's coming up on that time. Stephen, buddy, I appreciate you taking the time to come in and hang out with us. Now, what time is it in New Mexico right now?
It's 22 after 6.
So you're 2 hours behind us,
Yes.
behind me.
Uh,
All right, buddy. We like I said before we come on, we've had this in the works for a while. We talked first time, I guess, it was over a month ago, and
Yeah.
had some difficulty getting you on the first time, but we got it worked out, and I'm glad we did, bud. I appreciate you coming on and sharing with us.
Sure thing, Wayne.
All
Yeah.
right, buddy. Thank you, and hope you have a good evening, bud. I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay. All right. Take care.
All right. There you have it, guys. Interesting guy. Yeah, I met Stephen in one of the Bigfoot groups, and he had done another podcast. He sent me. I went on and listened to it, and had some interesting stuff happen in his time. Glad he came on to share. All right, guys. Before we get out of here, I did want to mention that as I said in the beginning, talked a little bit about the name of this show is going to from now on is going to be unscripted. So, and the reason we're doing that is I already have an unscripted website. I got it going right there, unscriptedpodcast.com. We have an unscripted Instagram and an unscripted TikTok. So we already have all of that stuff set up. So just easier to combine the two. But again, I want to mention, and I know that the Duty Bird I guess he came in late, didn't hear. There is no feud between Walls and I. Walls is still one of my best buddies. I love him, love the guy. He's still the vice president of the group. He's heading up a very important project that we've got coming up. Think the world of the guy. I'm helping him with his show. It's just I feel like this show, unscripted, is going to work best with one host. That's all there is. All there is to it. No, not mad at him. He's not mad at me. Nothing like that. We're just taking it a different way. That's all there is to it. But this project coming up, guys, I can't wait to talk about it. It's going to be really, really cool. And again, these cups that we're selling here, it's gonna go a long way toward funding this project because it's the biggest project Manimal today is gonna do, and it's gonna cost some money to get what's needed to get this project up and going. So if you guys can, appreciate if you could pick up a cup. We got some more coming, and also I got something else cool that's being made up that you guys might like too. They're finished now, but I don't have any to show, so I'm gonna hold off on that. We got a dude from Texas. Any more white ones? This is the only white one I have, but dude from Texas, if you want it, message me after the show. I'll save it for you, and I'll send it to you if you want it. I'm gonna try to get some more because it's been a good response. It's the glare. You can see the writing down here. The glare in the room here is kind of keeping you from reading it, but yeah, it's a good looking cup. It is. But dude from Texas, if you want to get with me, and it's yours. I'll send it out tomorrow. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for all that you do, all that you've done. Love you guys. Like I said, in the not even 3 years that we've been doing this, we've grown so much, and it's all because of you guys, and you've been great. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all that you do. Look forward to keeping this thing going and bringing more good content, and need some good guests. So, if you guys know anybody, keep those good guests coming in. And yeah, guys, y'all take care of each other. Be good to each other. Hope to see you at the Squatch Out. And be thinking about you. Guys, y'all be good. We'll see you later.